what's up YouTube? Welcome to today's video where I'm gonna go over the November events. There's actually gonna be 3 of them. In the background you'll see the trailer that's being played, and first one is Mayhem on November 4th. Second one is going to be Endless Delve on November 14th, so 10 days in between. And the last one is actually going to be Delirium Everywhere. So they actually didn't include the Atlas Invasion, which I think for most people was their favorite events. Now, GGG did mention that all of these events have been vastly improved. There's many prizes to be won, more than we could ever dream of. Look at all these microtransactions that await us, and look at this one. So Mayhem November 4th, Endless Delve November 14th, and Delirium Everywhere November 22nd. So you might be wondering, how exactly is the community taking this? Well, I predict that the community is going to be very, very, very mad about this whole news post. And there's definitely some things that leave a lot to be desired. So as I said before, everyone was really anticipating November events to bring Path of Exile back to the top of Twitch. If you do not know, a lot of people have mentioned that PoE is not really doing so well on Twitch. Not like it matters too much, but there is a stat. I don't even know if I can see it anymore. But let's see, Twitch. And they're showing that this was actually one of the worst leagues ever in terms of the metrics for view hours. But I do think that maybe this will bring it up. Maybe we'll get 1,000 viewers on average a day. Who knows? But GGG has finally announced the events, and there are some head-scratching decisions. I'm pretty sure if I go read through the Reddit comments that they're not going to be very happy. People are probably not going to be happy purely because of the prizes. Now, they do say each event has been improved since the last time we ran them. Kind of interesting because it's always an interesting wording when you say stuff like we vastly improved stuff, and then you read the description and the improvements are really not that vast. So when picking which events to run, we are aiming for some variety between each event to cater to many different types of players. For example, Mayhem is a great event. And then right here it says each event has been improved since the last time we ran it. Most notably, we vastly improved Delirium Everywhere scaling for lower level areas. So yeah, for the prizes, this is the biggest problem with the events, and why I think the events will be pretty bad overall in terms of how people perceive it. And first off is there's only one total guaranteed mystery box across all 3 events, so we are not forced to play all 3. Now, this is a wording I don't really like, because if you don't want to give us the mystery box, just say that maybe it's not, they didn't want to give out that many. Don't make up an excuse and say that we're giving you one guaranteed mystery box so that you don't need to have so much choice and to figure out which event you're playing. So they're pretty much saying that they're giving us one mystery box instead of the 4 that we got last year, so that we don't feel forced to play all of the events, because they're looking out for us. And that's just something that rubs me a little bit of the wrong way. And I do think a lot of people are going to be very upset about why we only get one guaranteed Calandra mystery box. Because as most people know, mystery boxes really does not cost GGG any money, and it's pretty much a sign of goodwill. And at this point, I feel like they could use all the goodwill they need heading into 3.20. So they right here, you'll be able to win one guaranteed mystery box per account for reaching level 50 at any of the events. This is one total guaranteed mystery box across all events. Reaching level 50 in more than one of the events will not reward you with additional Calandra mystery boxes. This means that players are to be able to pick and choose which events they want to play, rather than feeling forced to play all 3 in order to pick up the maximum number of prizes. So they kind of make up for this by that every single event has a lot of random draw, and depending on how popular these events are, you could potentially win multiple of these drawings. So that could be something that they try to make up for, but for the general population, you can only get one mystery box by playing all of these events. Now, another thing they did that was kind of different is that they made it so the top 3 overall in each event will receive a full microtransaction set, and the first place will take home a Path of Exile t-shirt. Now, this time around, they kind of made it very towards the top end, so the top 3 will receive a full micro, so you can choose from like these microtransaction sets that are specific to each of these events. And then if you're in hardcore SSF, for all of the people that play that, the top player of each ascendancy class gets a Godslayer's Pride microtransaction. It actually looks pretty cool. It's like a beam of light that shines down upon you. And then this is the armor set for, I think, Mayhem. It's Dragon Hunter. I think I already have that. Oblivion armor set for Delve. Oh, I guess it matches the color. and Delirium Everywhere is Glimmerwood. So the main difference is that before there were demigods for the top 5 of each ascendancy. I'm not really sure why it's not in there. I'm pretty sure they might add it back once people complain enough about it. I do think that these prizes are probably too exclusive to the top end. You really want to incentivize more people to try the event, and if it's only the top of each ascendancy, then it's going to be a lot harder. Like top 5 of each ascendancy, more people can feel like, oh, they have a chance of doing it. And then you have this thing that's hardcore SSF that most people won't even bother with. But for the events, we have Mayhem. Now, Mayhem is kind of not as cool this time around purely because the Atlas passive tree actually exists. So if you actually look at what Mayhem actually gives us, sometimes it's literally just a node on our Atlas passive tree. And so each area we can find 20 rogue exiles. So this is kind of like Ruckus, 20 strong boxes, like an ambush on steroids, 20 invasion bosses, 10 breaches. Now, breaches are just really annoying to do. No one really wants to do them anymore unless you're trying to do some Deli Mirror shenanigans. 20 Tormented Spirits, 20 Harbingers. Now, 20 Harbingers, like, who cares about Harbingers nowadays, right? They don't even drop anything good. Like, Harbingers are probably one of the things that got completely obliterated by the Divine Orb change. And then you have Beyond. And Beyond is literally a shell of itself, so it's not too impressive. It actually ends when you spawn the Scourge boss or a Mirror of Delirium. Now, Mirror of Delirium is literally something on the Atlas passive tree you can get like a 35 to 40% chance of. So, in addition, they also say they have area can also have 2 mods from a pool of mods that increase difficulty of monster in the area. So I'm assuming that this could probably be like Monster Life or Onslaught, Attack and Cast Speed, or Monster Damage or something like that. And these mods will change every hour, so I'm pretty sure that each zone will have something different. So sometimes one zone will have 20 rogue exiles, next one will have 20 strong boxes. So I guess you could see some cool interactions with 20 strong boxes, Enraged, Strongbox, Sextant. If people actually get to that level of juice, it could be pretty fun, right? But overall, I do think that Mayhem doesn't really work in today's day and age. I did think that they would probably add in Mayhem. I would rather see them do Atlas Invasion, because Mayhem is literally just part of your Atlas passive tree, and with Beyond being severely nerfed and Harbinger also being completely gutted, it feels really mediocre to have this event. Now, the goal is to get highest level is an XP race, and these are the rewards that you can get. You can get Dragon Hunter Wings, Mystery Aura Effect, Magma Wings, Heartseeker Wings, so just the usual stuff. So if the event isn't that popular and you do well in it, you get high level, you probably do have a decent chance of getting some rewards. Now, next up, we have Endless Delve. In this event, it's pretty much all you can do is delve. I don't really know exactly where they improved this event. I don't think any part of this is improved. In fact, I think it's actually deproved because of the end goal. So there's still no crafting bench. I do know a lot of people's main gripe with Delve was that there was no crafting bench. However, they didn't improve that aspect of it. Now, the end goal is to be the first player in each ascendancy class to depth 600, so it's not really endless. And what makes this worse is that people will probably be able to do depth 600 in one session, and it kind of just makes people stay up forever. But that's not really that bad. It's like once people reach step 600, what's even the point of playing the event? It's not really endless. There's no reason to optimize your build more or try to find a very niche build to bring it all the way to as deep as possible. So right now it's pretty much a glorified race of just choosing a really strong build and trying to brute force it to 600. And it kind of ruins build diversity. It also kind of ruins the end goal, and lots of people probably won't even feel like playing it pretty much because there's no reward for the top 5 of each ascendancy. Now, another thing that people don't really realize is that the event will not feel improved at all compared to last time because of the existence of Arch Nemesis mods. A lot of people haven't really experienced Delve with Arch Nemesis mods, and it's actually a very, very infuriating experience according to some people that do Delve. In the sense that there's like ground degens everywhere. It's annoying. You get chased by Toxic or Lightning Striders or something like that. But just going to be a very, very different experience. And I really do not like how it's going to be done to depth 600. Technically, it's good for me because I can probably stay up the whole time and try to get it. But for the majority of players who are just trying to enjoy and having some little bit of competition, limiting it to depth 600 really takes away a lot, especially from why is it even called Endless Delve at this point. Now, For this event, you do start with 40 wisdom scrolls, and you do get a bunch of starter unique items that depend on what class you choose. I think there is a gem vendor, and Lily, you can also turn in div cards. But overall, I think this event is more or less identical to before, besides the end goal being to get to 600. Now, next up, we have the vastly improved Delirium Everywhere event. Now, this Delirium Everywhere event improvement mainly just comes from the fact that the minimum and maximum level of Delirium scaling is now with the level of the zone. So what this means is that you can pretty much expect that Act 1, we won't be fighting a 90% Deli Brutus. Maybe they will cap out Delirium at around 60% for Act 1 through 5, or like 60% throughout the whole campaign. So that's pretty much the main thing that got changed. Now, each area will have the same Delirium percentage, and Delirium rewards are randomized every time. So this is actually kind of annoying. A lot of people have asked in the past if it's possible for them to actually change up the Delirium every hour or so in each zone to make it feel more fun, but I guess that's just not part of the equation, or something bad would happen if they actually did that. I'm not really sure. So in the end, it's going to be the exact same event, except the campaign will be a lot easier for beginners to get through. It is an XP race to a level 100, and Deli mirrors cannot spawn because everything is technically Delirium. Then these are the microtransactions you can get. Some of these do look pretty cool. I actually want Oblivion Wings. Those look actually pretty sick. And this event is on November 21st. Now, you might be wondering, can you even access Lake of Calandra? And I actually found this really funny because Lake of Calandra is technically not over yet, but since Lake of Calandra is actually so bad, GGG decided to not even make these events in Calandra League, or maybe they're just trying to wean us off Calandra League so that we actually don't think about it anymore. So they have in the FAQ, will I be able to access the Lake of Calandra during the events? And they say no, the events will not be in the Calandra League, so you will not be able to access the Lake of Calandra. So what that means is that there's going to be a lot of builds that you can't play if you're relying on reflected jewelry or something like that. And this also means that these events will pretty much just be glorified standardly. Like Mayhem will feel just a shell of itself, right? There's no leak mechanic at all, and you're playing stuff that you could already access on your Atlas Passive Tree or Scarabs. And this is the main thing. And these are the two main points that I think will be very, very contentious for the community. And not having demigods for the top 5 of each ascendancy class, I think, is a huge mistake. It costs GGG nothing to give these out as rewards. You want to incentivize people to compete and to play. And having the rewards gated to the top of each ascendancy class and not having demigods just feels like a huge, like a missed opportunity, right? And the community is definitely not going to be happy about how we only get one mystery box instead of multiple. It will seem like they tried to gaslight us into saying that it's better for us that we don't get the mystery boxes. So let me go check out Reddit. I mean, I know Reddit is not the end-all be-all of the opinion of the community, but it does. So already, first post, no demigod in November events. Now, I do think that maybe they will go back on it. They'll see the community upcry or something like that. But I do think the reaction is going to be very, very negative towards this event post. Biggest bummer is that you can only get one empty Xbox now rather than one for each event. So now I wasn't going to play the event. I'm definitely not playing. Why you need a demigod? Who cares? I mean, the funny thing is, like, why do you need a demigod? You want a demigod just to have a reason, a goal to aim for, and only hardcore SSF prizes. Guess what? I just heard about this. Looks like the rewards are only streamer only this time around. Yeah, so people are just not going to be happy, but it is what it is. I'm glad that they did it at Endless Heist, but I'm actually kind of sad they didn't have Endless Lake, right? Because I do think that Endless Lake could be a pretty cool thing. So where is actually the post about the November events? I just can't find it. But basically, I would probably play one of the events. If I am going to play one of the events, I probably will play Endless Delve. I am going to be away during November 4th. But Mayhem definitely looks like the worst event to me. Like, I have absolutely no desire in playing Mayhem League. But if I had to rate the events, probably Endless Delve number 1, then second Delirium Everywhere, then third Mayhem. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you find more Mirrors, Exalted Orbs, and Divines. And if you do try this event, I hope you win the microtransaction set. But let me know down in the comments below if you'll actually be trying these events out. and if you think that this pricing structure is a mistake. But thanks for watching, everyone. I hope and see you next time. Bye.